This week's episode is brought to you by, oh God, Spider! Spider! Oh God! Oh, please! Ah!
I've seen a stupid intro.
That's too far.
I've been a part of it. I've been the stupidity.
Too far. So, did you see my Apple comment on Facebook? And everyone's trying to say that Apple Crisp or Honey Crisps aren't the best type of apple.
I mean, to be fair, I'm a Jonathan Apple kind of guy.
Get the fuck out of your house.
Have you gone to an orchard and picked all of the different kind of apples and then tried to eat them?
When I was like a little kid.
No, because I did the, young white people dating thing where where you go to the apple orchard, and I really liked the Jonathan apples, and they were delicious. I have never seen them in the supermarket, so I have never bought them.
That's why they're known as the boyfriend being dragged on a stupid date.
Yeah. Well, it's like, and you go there and they're just like, you need to pick like 25 pounds of apples or some shit, and if you don't, you just have to fill up by the end because we just got to get rid of apples. I'm like, you just got to get rid of apples? That's the situation we're in, is that people come here and it's like, no, just fucking take apples, please.
Please, we're growing way too
That's literally the situation. If you go to the apple orchard, they'll tell you how much you have to pick, and like, I thought I fucking did it. Like, I thought we picked so many apples, and then we got there and it's like, yeah, you got like 10 pounds of apples. I'm like, holy shit. And so we had so many apples, and then we came home, we're like, what are we going to fucking do with all these apples? Spoiler, we threw away most of them.
Just make a shit ton of pies.
Yeah, see, like, it sounded like in my head, like, oh yeah, we'll find a way to do it. It's like, no, this is so many apples.
Just make 10 gallons of
What are you going to do with a fucking 25-pound bag of apples? No one needs that many apples. No wonder the apple orchard is just like, fucking take apples, please.
Please show love.
Just eat apples. Take them.
I've eaten nothing but apples for 25 years.
You could probably go there and just be like, I don't want to pay you any money, but I'll take like 5 pounds of apples. I'm like, please, thank you.
You are more than welcome to do that.
These fucking trees just keep making them. I don't know what to do.
All right. Anyway. Welcome to
the Hodge Applecast. Talking apples all the time.
The apple picking podcast, where we discuss all types of apples.
Or like the 4 that I know.
I know at least 5. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the Hodge Podcast, the official podcast at countryhodgepodge.com. I'm your host, Steve Hodge, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, cousin, and lover, Kevin Hodge.
Hello.
And, oh shit, I don't know, my nose pulled up. Today we
don't need notes.
Yeah, where we're going, we don't need notes. Because it shows how wonderfully professional our podcast is.
We have been getting all of those comments about how professional we are and not amateurish
not amateurish at all. Our very first comment from someone wasn't about how amateurish and how they wrote off our podcast.
No, it has never happened.
Anyway, this week, we don't have anything to talk about. We're recording a little early because we're seeing Avengers tomorrow because I'm dragging Kevin to go see it with me.
Okay, here's a good rant. 3D is terrible.
I know. I apologize for my 3D. That's the only thing that was on sale.
If anyone listening thinks that you legitimately get a better experience at the movies because of 3D, I will fight you with words. I don't actually want to fight you because I don't care that much, but I will fight you with words.
No, I agree. 2D is much better, but that's all they had, so sorry. But
bunch of crap.
So, yeah, we don't have much to talk about, but there were a lot of albums that came out last week, so we're going to talk about those. And I guess we could just hop right into my grinding, because I don't have anything to say.
I mean,
unless we want to talk about Marvel movies, and then we could totally.
I don't actually want to. I have enjoyed them, and they are a fun time, but that is as far as I'll go.
Your fun time.
We can remind everybody about how we saw Mike Ryan at the Windy City Smokeout, and we got to talk to him because Steve talked to him, and I was afraid to talk to him. But then he was super chill and super cool, and we got a picture, and it was great.
Yeah, I know we talked about this because we're doing the podcast when we did this last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we talked about it after the Windy City Smokeout. I just saw him.
You just can't assume that everyone's listened to every episode.
Everyone has because
Every
everyone
single
loves
one.
us.
That's why every episode has the same number of listens.
Exactly. Luke Holmes is definitely not way more inflated than everyone else. But anyway, so yeah, last year we went to the Whitney City Smokeout in Chicago, if you didn't get that from the title.
There's plenty of cities with wind, Steve.
Every city has wind. What makes Chicago so special? But yeah, Mike Ryan was one of the guys who a little earlier in the day, but we just saw him in the crowd. Like, he walked out from backstage and was standing in the back while, like, Muscadine Bloodline or someone was playing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's Mike Ryan. And so he walked over, and I was like, are you Mike Ryan? He's like, yeah. And so we chat with him for a little bit. He was super nice, took a picture with us. He asked for the photo because we're famous. No, just kidding. We asked him for the photo.
Yes.
And, yeah, we just chatted with him for a little bit, and then we saw him play, and he was amazing.
So good.
Because he was playing a lot of his Blink You'll Miss It songs because that was EP was about to come out. And then we saw him later in the crowd walking by, and I was just like, hey, man, good set. And he's like, oh, it's good to see you again.
Yeah. Honestly, he was a guy where, like, I had listened to a good handful of his songs prior to then, and I enjoyed them for sure. But after seeing him live, and I feel like this happens with a lot of artists, where I'll see them live and I'll be like, oh, like, no, they fucking go. Like, this is good.
Yeah.
And then I'll really dive into the music after the fact and be like, yes, I was right in thinking that they're good. They jam. And so he was definitely one of those guys that I like. I don't know how many songs that I could have sang the words to at that time, but for sure after it got done, I was like, yeah, no, I am going to dive into all of the music that he has out there, and when Blink You Miss It comes out, I am going to be so pumped.
And Blink You'll Miss It was my favorite album of last year. Just even though it was an
EP.
Yeah, even though it was an EP, it was the
Liar.
one that I would listen start to finish more times than any other album that came. Oh, maybe not more times than any other album because it came out later than most, but because Sonny Sweeney's I listened to a lot also.
Yeah,
but,
no, I definitely listen to Tyler Childers the most.
Yeah.
And it's not even close. Like, no offense to any other artist, it's just that, like, hook that album up to my veins
You don't
for
even,
the rest of my
you
life.
don't even like.
I've
Tyler
never
Childers.
brought it up.
Never.
Certainly not like almost every podcast.
But yeah, so he was super nice, and then obviously he was really good live. And I remember we were genuinely laughing while he was singing the rewrite for the first time.
Oh, and it's such a beautiful song. If you've, I mean, we'll obviously touch on it, but if you don't like just a really good "fuck you, ex" kind of breakup song, you've either lived a very privileged life and never had to. I mean, I'm really happy for you guys. I love you guys. But also, but seriously, like, those kind of songs just get you feeling some type of way, and it's great.
Yeah. And then, it was just phenomenal. We were going to see him again. He was in Chicago a couple months ago opening for, I think, Randy Rogers, but I think it was a Friday concert, and we just couldn't make it home in time for it because Chicago, like, getting home is only 2 hours from here, so we would get home by 7-something if we left from work. But getting to Chicago, especially during rush hour, that's a 3 to maybe 4 hour drive. And
it's I mean, I'm happy to be in this position now in our lives where we kind of have more music available out there that we want to see than we can actually see. I'm so much happier to be in that position than to be like, no one comes around. You're like, literally no one.
Yeah.
And you can't see anyone.
especially with like Coondog Motel.
Oh,
and
fuck
just,
yeah. But yeah, so it, you know, there's plenty. I mean, shit, Ray Scott's in Iowa City tonight.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's tonight.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know.
Damn it.
Yeah, so that sucks.
Yeah, that's the one thing that does suck is a lot of, because Iowa is obviously not a huge like party.
What are you talking about? Everyone talks about how they come to Iowa. They're just like, wow, just a bustling metropolis.
We're really good when it's
from end to end.
Yeah, when it's election year.
People do come here though. Then I was in Des Moines for work one time during this past election, which most people know was very uneventful.
It hasn't ruined friendships or families.
And I
or
literally
TV.
like I couldn't go where I needed to go for like 45 minutes because I want to say it was Hillary was speaking, and because of the security lockdown, I literally couldn't go where I needed to go. So I just had to fucking stand there. And so like I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna hang out here. And then after the event ended, they all cleared out, and I was able to go. But I was like, holy,
and that's why Hillary
Jesus.
lost, because Kevin couldn't get where he needed to go.
He was
the swing vote.
I was the swing vote. I mean,
He was the swing vote.
I didn't vote for either of them, so my swing vote didn't go anywhere. But at the same time, I swung the vote.
Exactly. You would have swung it into a tie, Kevin. God damn it.
Tie harder.
But yeah, so yeah, that's like we went off topic there, but yeah, it is nice that there are more people playing out here in Iowa. But what I was saying was, it sucks that since it's not like a major city, they come during the week, and it's hard to get to Des Moines or Iowa City on like a Tuesday to see someone. Or Cedar Rapids is a big one too.
Yeah, but I also don't want to complain too hard, because I know the Turnpike group that we're on Facebook. People talk about like driving 4 hours to see bands because there's literally no one that comes through their town. I'm like, okay, I don't have to do that. But at the same time, like, I mean, we are adults who full-time podcast. That's a lie. But
we don't have jobs. This is our job.
Can't go to every show. But but seriously, I'm so happy to be at this point, because like I've said on the podcast before, there was a time in my life as a youngin' where like I went to my first concert and it was great, and I was like, I wonder when I'll get to go to my next one. And it was like, not imagining that I'll get to see shows like even once a year. And now I'm like going, fuck, I don't know how many shows we average a year now. It's ridiculous.
Geez. It's at least 2 or 3 a month. Like, we go, because I don't know. I know I've said this on the podcast before, but it reminded me of back in home economics in high school when they're like, you're learning how to balance a checkbook, and so it's like you have to do all your expenses, like groceries and electric and all this.
Don't.
And then he goes, but you also have to take account for like fun things like concerts and stuff. And at that time, I hadn't been to a concert, and I was just like, I'll never go to concerts. Why would I do that? And now it's just like, I spend all of my money on concerts. Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, when is Medicine Stone on sale? Because I don't want to buy it.
And also, who balances their checkbook?
I did it. I remember when I first got it, I was balancing it for a little bit. Then I was like, I have the Chase app, and that balances it for me.
I am an accountant, and I very quickly recognized the stupidity of trying to sit there and balance my checkbook. Also, because I don't write checks.
Yeah, I don't. I haven't written a check since... I genuinely don't know. I don't remember the last time.
I write one once a month now for the association fees of this house, but that's literally it.
I did write one a little bit ago because I was looking for it, but I think I had to write a void one. I don't know. Anyway.
Checkbook balancing. We're now going to go into that topic.
The account podcast. Kevin.
The accountant's hour. Let me tell you about the cash flows statement.
Oh my God! What was the gamer tag? We were playing Fortnite yesterday. It was before you got on.
Genuinely Flaccid?
No, Genuinely Flaccid is probably the best one we've seen so far. But no, it was like accounting like legend or something. I was just like, that guy's really into accounting.
As an accountant, I can confidently say why. Have you not enjoyed anything in life? And this is it.
But yeah, I think Genuinely Flaccid is by far the greatest.
I got killed one time by a guy whose gamer tag was Creamy Spooge, and that's also up there.
That just reminded me. Cassidy messaged me the other day saying
I don't know how the segue went off of Creamy Spooge.
Well, it's because of a stupid thing that she says. She says she's a fan of the podcast. So hi Cassidy.
Hello.
But she just goes, I just love the comment you made about Kevin eating dildos. I'm like, I don't remember making that comment, but all right.
The correct answer is which one?
I was like, I don't remember making that comment, but okay, thank you. We say a lot of stupid shit on this podcast.
I like to say that stupid shit is the #1 export of the Country Hodgepodge house.
Yeah. Well, it's like when we were driving downtown last week, and there was just like the cargo boat or whatever, the thing.
Barge. Most people call them barges.
I can't think of words. I'm tired. But
the boat truck.
It was like on the side of the river, and I said, "Oh, crashed RIP," and we bolted the cross at the same time, and I was just like, "We've been living together too long."
Yeah, I just love that. RIP.
But yeah. Anyway, Mike Ryan. If you haven't heard him before, I know he's probably if you're from Texas, you've heard him because he has #1 hits in Texas, and I'm pretty sure the rewrite's in the top 10 right now.
Yeah, the thing that blows my mind with him is that when I listen to his music and I think about his music, it is 100% of the contemporary genre. Like it's quote contemporary country.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make that sound bad or anything, but he makes the kind of music that should do well on the radio, and I don't know why it's not, because when you listen to it, like if you listen to a catchy Mike Ryan songs, like say Bad Reputation, for example, there are people who have terrible taste in music who will recognize the goodness in that song.
Yeah.
And they will enjoy it. And I don't understand why it doesn't do well, or I guess I don't know why it's just not available on the radio.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't promote it up here.
It could be, but I always think about that. I'm like, no, this dude's sound, like he's got the sound that like who's gonna listen to it and be like, no, like it doesn't make any sense. It's so universally acceptable. He's not like super honky tonky and yodeling that'll alienate the non-traditional or the non-traditional folk, and it's also not so contemporary that he's going to alienate all of the contemporary folks.
Yeah.
Like
he's not about to take stage with Thomas Rhett. Like,
exactly, he hits this good groove of sound that is clearly country, but also very accessible and recognizable. And I'm like, man, this dude should be fucking huge.
Yeah, and his voice is
and he's such a good singer. It's tremendous. Yeah, he's one of those dudes like when you try to sing along, you're just like, oh man, I'm bad at singing.
Yeah, like I have a decent voice. I've sang on stage before, but him, I can't hit the notes in half his songs, and it's just like
I
like sad song, I cannot sing on stage.
I have a range that I have to stay in if I'm gonna sing. He is all out of it. Yeah. No chance.
Yeah, he is absolutely fantastic.
His voice is so good.
Yeah. Speaking of his voice, let's just get into his songs.
Let's do it.
So this top 10 was also pretty tough to write because we had 7 that were the same, I believe, on this week. Mm-hmm. And it was like getting to his top like 15 or so, I got stuck again because he has 2 albums and 2 EPs.
Yeah, because the first one, I believe, is an EP.
The first one, I think it's called The First One.
The first one, also known as The First One.
Yeah, that's an EP.
And then the latest one, Blink If You Miss It's an EP. And then I thought he had the 2 albums,
I think he has 2 albums in
between, because there's Bad Reputation and the other one.
The one that has the other songs.
Yeah, what the fuck's it called?
Words. It is called...
The songs on an album in an order. In an order that would surprise you.
Night Comes Falling.
Yeah, that's
what it's called. Yeah, so he has 2 EPs and 2 albums. But anyway, number 10 is, once I pull it up, it is Dancing All Around It.
There she goes, looking her best, spinning out on the floor in a low-cut dress. He's holding her close, there's no doubt about it. She ain't over me yet, she's dancing all around it.
This song is just a fantastic song about a guy who doesn't really know his status with his girlfriend anymore, and so he's just like, she's not answering my calls. Let me see if I can hit her up.
They're like done, and I love the whole.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they're done, and I love.
But in his mind, he doesn't know if he can win her back.
Yeah, and I love the all of the words that he's saying are like she's clearly like moving on and just living life, but the way that he's framing it and talking about his perspective, he's like, oh no, she's totally not over me. See, she's doing this, but then he describes a thing that's like, oh, she's trying she's trying to get over you.
He's like,
and just getting out there on the dance floor and dancing with this guy and holding him close.
He goes like, what if she's just waiting for the song to be over? And then he goes, he put her head on his shoulder.
Now the song's over and they're still dancing. Oh, now they're holding closely. And so it's one of those where he's kind of like trying to make it work in his brain to be like, oh, it's not totally over, but it's like clearly is. Mm-hmm. And I that kind of bit of denial draped over it, I feel like it's a really interesting. That's what's
working right now.
Yeah, like a really interesting take on it, because it's not just I'm a sad sack. Yeah, it's like I'm not a sad sack. It's just like, oh shit, but also maybe, but then oh shit.
Yeah, and he goes, it might not be over, or it might still be going, or it might not be over, but she's dancing all around it. Like she's pretty much beating around the bush, but she's not actually beating around the bush with it.
But I also look at that line as like, like dancing all around it, like being clearly just like fucking in your face, dancing all around it.
Yeah.
but it's also like she hasn't totally made it over yet.
But yeah, like the whole start of it is like he's looking at his phone, like I'm gonna call her. Maybe she's at home thinking about me, and then he just goes, nope. And then I look at her across the bar. She's in that low cut dress. And she's having a good time. He can just like I think he has a line of like she's clearly over me type thing, and yeah, it's fantastic. Number 9 is Damn Good Goodbye.
So we drank a case of Shiner and on my daddy's Maker's Mark. Pull them speakers on the back porch, sat around and smoked cigars. Sang along, we laughed till dawn, and watched that red sunrise. That was a damn good goodbye.
This song is just one of those fantastic ones of kind of...
It's like Left Until We Cried
Yeah.
by Jason Aldean.
Yeah, that and kind of, I was also thinking Brantley Gilbert one, the Hell of an Amen.
Yep.
That kind
Yeah.
of thing where it's just it's a way to go out.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for these kind of goodbye type songs where it's not like a, goodbye of a heartbreak the entire time, but it's just like, high school friends who are moving on to different areas or just any number of things, just, it's a sad situation, but a sad situation that creates such a great memory. And I love songs about that because they're so relatable for everybody. And like, if you haven't gone through this situation, who do you talk to? And have you never left your hometown, and were you homeschooled? Because it doesn't make any sense. And so like I love these type of songs. And so like you said, it's all about, he talks about like his friends from high school, and they're all going to different colleges, and so they have this moment where they're all together, this one last night out, and it's
His
just
parents
like,
are out of town, so he has them over, and they just start getting
and
drunk
then they just like share stories, and it's just like it was a damn good goodbye because goodbye sucks, but it was just a great time, and I love songs.
It was a good way to go out. And the one that I love is the second verse where he talks about the girl, and because that one, you lean the bucket seats back, you couldn't at least just lie and say it was a bench seat truck. Like, it was bucket seats, really. And then the line, I always hate this stupid line, we made love all night long. It's just like, no.
All night.
No, you
the entire day.
It was 10 minutes. And you
12 hours.
But I do love the line in that verse of high school love can't survive a 7-hour drive.
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those, they know their relationship won't survive college. So
exactly.
They're just going out with a bang, literally. And
I don't get it.
Yeah, the made love all night long lines are always stupid to me, but
the message is great.
Yeah. Number 8 is When I Drink Beer.
By that 5th one, I'm holding my phone, looking through pictures of me and you. Then I sit there, stare at your number, thinking I shouldn't, but I always do. Ooh, you don't always answer. Ooh, it's better if you don't. 'Cause ooh, I can just keep drinking, crawl in a cab and head back home. But when you answer,
This is just one of those awesome, like, a guy not over his girlfriend thing, and it's just like, when I drink beer, it just gets worse. Like, I'll have one, and I'll have a couple more, and then next thing I know, I'm looking at my phone. Next thing I know, I'm drunk enough that I'm calling you. I'm going over, and then it's just like every verse starts when I drink beer, and it's just going through this story of how he's just not ending it with his ex. They're still hooking up and stuff, and then he goes, and that terrible feeling of waking up and you're always gone, and then I have that feeling of being alone again, and then so it ends with, I don't drink beer anymore, I just have a Coke, because if I drink beer, that's going to happen again.
I do love the story and the message behind the song. I just hate that he chose When I Drink Beer, because I drink beer a lot, and I never have this problem. Never once.
Because you don't talk to women, Kevin.
I'd be like, if he was just be like, if that's why I don't drink like absinthe. Then I'd be like, okay, that's respect.
Whiskey would be more.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like if you're saying whiskey, you get fucking really turned. Like, drink beer, really? Come on. You can have 4 beers and not be on your ass.
That's what you think. Number 7, Bad Reputation.
Well, this is when I should be sneaking out, making my getaway, but lying here looking at her now, I just want to stay. I never saw it coming, I thought it'd be nothing, but there's nothing like I've ever had. What the hell am I doing if I don't leave soon? I'm gonna ruin my bad reputation.
I love this song, mostly, well, not mostly, but partially because the guitar riff is just so catchy. Song. It just jams, and it's really cool. And I just love that it's this kind of a love song where he's just like, he has this one night stand, but then he's like in bed and she's asleep, and he's like, I need to get out of here so that I can, like a one night stand, just get the fuck out of here and never see her again. But then he's like, I don't want to do that because I'm actually nervous if I leave, I won't ever see her again. And this moment, and this
really like
this experience that we've had, and I actually really care about this person. And I just love the use of the line where he's just like, if I don't leave here soon, I'm gonna ruin my bad reputation. Where he's like, he's got a reputation for running around town with different women, but this is a situation where just like, I don't want to do that anymore. So it's a bit of a growing up song, it's a bit of a love song, and it's a jam song, and I just really do love it because of that. He's what started as maybe a one night stand, he's just like, I actually really care about this person, and the tables are turned. Instead of him slipping out in the middle of the night and never seeing them again, and then the person being upset, he's like, if I never saw her again, I'd be crushed.
Yeah, and I love the lyric with this song of there are girls all over town I don't want to run to. All the rumors are spreading around, and most of them are true.
Yep.
Like, it's just this thing of, he knows he's just that jagbag, but he doesn't. He wants to keep that reputation up, but at the same time, he does not want to get
and so he's found this girl that, in the end, he stays, and the sun comes up, and he's willing to sacrifice this reputation that he's worked so hard for this one person.
What a reputation.
What an honorable person.
Yeah.
But I do love that song. And the guitar is so catchy.
Yeah,
it's
another one where he just belts in that song. Number 6, The Rewrite.
This is a new song, a screw you song. You can go to hell, take your new boyfriend to song. But it's a loud song, a honky-tonk crowd song. It's a you don't like when I drink, so I'm getting loud song. Sing along, raise your glass, and help me tell her she can kiss my ass song.
So this is the one we were mentioning before about it's just a fuck yourself ex-girlfriend song, and
beautiful.
I just love where he talks about he's like, I wrote you this beautiful love song that was like faithfully meets this other love song, and it's like the greatest love song ever, but you didn't get to hear it because you left, so instead here's a screw you song. And
my favorite line in the entire song is the "You don't like when I drink, so I'm getting plowed" song. It's just like, fuck yeah, like, let's go.
Yeah, it's just a phenomenal. I just also love where it's like later on, it's just like, and if you show up at my house, I'm not gonna let you in. All right, I will.
Okay. I'm only a man.
But this song actually was written for, I think we talked about it before on the podcast, and I know I read it. I couldn't find it again before we started recording, but I know I read about it. He wrote the song for Brad Paisley. And
Bard Parsley.
Brad Paisley was gonna record it. He ultimately passed on it, so Mike Ryan just was like, all right, I'll do it. And Brad Paisley actually plays the guitar on this song. And so it's pretty cool that Brad Paisley has his way on it. Because Mike Ryan also wrote what's the Brad Paisley song? The Last Time for Everything. He wrote that song with him.
I saw Mike Ryan did a video on Facebook doing that song the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. I saw him do Rose in Paradise, and it made me sad because I've been playing that song, and
song.
I don't play it as well as him.
No one does.
But, yeah, so this song is... yeah. So this one we had a lot of... We were laughing our asses off at the concert because the first time he says you don't like when I drink, so I'm getting plowed song, we were fucking dying.
Oh, it was amazing!
Such a funny
and for all of you out there who love live music, you know that feeling when you're seeing a person live and they're telling you that they're going to play a new song and they're playing it, and you're just like, fuck yeah, I love this song. I cannot wait for it to be released.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a perfect example.
I don't even think he confirmed that it was going to be on the album.
I don't think he did.
He was like, "Here's a new song," and
exactly.
when he announced his new album, I was like, "We were both like, I hope the rewrite
it
is
better
on
be
it
on
because
there.
it's so funny."
Yeah.
And then it was, and we were very happy. But yeah, so next one is not a super happy "Screw Yourself, Ex-Girlfriend" song. It is number 5, "Sad Song."
Here you are standing, and tears hit my door. I don't know what to tell you. I've heard this one before. You're a sad song, a sad song. You're a sad song waiting to happen. Stumbled around like a fool.
Which is a very happy song, despite the title.
It's just kind of one of those you don't want to. You can just already see this relationship crumpling, and it's just like you're a sad song in the making. Like it's not going to go well.
Yeah, referring to the other person as a sad song waiting to happen. Just like I see where it's going. I'm gonna be destroyed, and I'm gonna have to write a sad song to get over you. And so it's just I see where it's going, and he sings just so well.
Yeah, as you just heard in the clip that I will inevitably put in there.
What?
Yeah, it's. I just love it. And I love this one because it's one of those piano ballads where there's not much else added to it. I don't even know if there's other instruments in it probably, but I just love those piano ballad sad songs that are just absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, it's just, I mean, the gist of the song is in the title of it, but it's, amazing. Number 4, Wasting No More Whiskey.
They made it up in Lynchburg. It started crystal clear until they kept it in a barrel for almost 7 years. They poured it in a bottle and packed it in a truck. Set it on a shelf until I gave them $30. This had quite a journey from the hills in Tennessee across the Mississippi. Now it's sitting here with me. I sure love to drink it, but that's something I won't do. 'Cause I ain't wasting no more whiskey on you.
This is actually probably my favorite. It's hard to choose a favorite because he's got a lot of good ones, but I think this is the one might be the one I listen to the most. And it's just this thing about like, you know how there's all those country songs about drinking someone off your mind, but it ends up keeping them on your mind. And it's just like, if I'm not gonna waste this whiskey because of the effort they went to make it and put it on the shelf for me to buy. I'm not gonna waste it on thinking about you. I'm not gonna waste it on drinking you off my mind.
He's gotten to that point in the getting over her where he's just like, no, you're not worth the time for me, and you're not worth the effort and time that they did to put into making it. So no.
Yeah, this is their craft, and I'm not going to waste it on drinking away an X. And so it's just like, I could put in a flask, sneak it into a college football game. I can drink with my dad, drink it with my buddies, toast the good old days, and it's just all this stuff. And he goes, but I'm not wasting it on you. And so I love this song. It's just so catchy. It's just an I'm over you song. And if you ever need a good feel-good song, that's it. Number 3, But Why?
I could just call you out, say I know all about him, where you are tonight. But why, when I just end up all alone, when I know you're still coming home, girl, I should hate you, pack up and tell you goodbye. But why? 'Cause you ain't gone yet.
But why, Kevin?
But why?
But why? But why? Number 2. No.
Now, I love this song because it's a really interesting situation where he's talking about, he's with this girl who's like obviously like doesn't care about him and is like cheating on him, and he's like he knows that it's a bad situation and he knows that he needs to do something about it, but he knows that if he does end the relationship, he's just going to be like destroyed.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, but why? Like, why would I do it? Why would I ruin everything despite him acknowledging the fact that it's kind of a shit situation? Like, why would I put myself through all of this pain and the heartache and all of the sadness that's going to arise from this when I can just, like, kind of ignore what's going on and have the, have the bit of, like, she's still going to come home tonight thing, and just kind of, like, there's this little chunk of a relationship that's left, and he's like, if he just clings to that, like, maybe it'll be kind of okay.
Yeah.
But it's just like obviously depressing the whole time, which means it's great.
Sad songs are stupid. Number 2, Putting Off Telling Me Goodbye.
Putting on the short dress, showing off her long legs, putting on them heels stiletto high, looking in the mirror in our bedroom, putting on her lipstick and her perfume, putting off telling me goodbye. She never says she loves me.
This was actually the first song I ever heard by him. I got it on my Discover a couple years ago. I don't even remember how long ago. And for a long time, it was the only song I knew by him because I didn't... Or I think maybe I heard Bad Reputation too. But this was the one that I listened to the most, and I just loved it because it's just one of those, like... She's going out with friends, but she's dressing really nice. And
Yeah.
she doesn't dress like that for me.
She doesn't put that dress on for me.
And
Oh,
it's-
she's got the high heels on. Oh, wait.
Yeah, and so it's showing off them long legs and everything, and it's just like she's going out obviously to flirt with people or maybe even on a date or whatever, and she can't bring up that it's over with me because that would just waste time, and she has like plans and she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So she's putting off the telling me goodbye thing.
Yeah, like he knows that it's coming, and she's clearly thinking about other things, but it's not over yet.
Yeah, and it's not over yet because she doesn't want to have to delay plans to fight with him and argue and all this. So yeah, I do love this song. It was the first one I listened to by him, and I was obsessed with it for quite a while. But anything else to add to that one, Kevin?
It has music.
What? We're doing a music podcast?
Shocking, I know.
Shit, I thought this was slam poetry.
Anything can be slam poetry if you say it like this.
Beautiful.
Snaps.
What movie was it from where they did the rubbing fingers because clapping was too violent? Was it?
Well, there's in Futurama where they go to Pluto and they're going to save the penguins, and the guy says, "Oh no, there's so many microorganisms on your hands if you clap or whatever. So just give us a eco-friendly thumbs up."
Was it Wanderlust where they do the
That's
fingers?
that's what it is.
But yeah, that's anyway. What are we doing?
One.
Oh, number 1.
There's only one left.
I forgot if we were still talking about putting up.
God damn it!
I am really tired. Number 1, New Hometown.
I gotta get a new hometown, one that doesn't bring me down, somewhere where I won't see you every time I turn around. I used to think I'd never leave.
I didn't realize how much this song applied to me moving out here until like I don't know how many, a couple listens in, I was just like, wait, this is pretty much exactly what I did, kind of like after. So anyone who's listened for a while knew that I was. Me and Kevin used
Never
to,
brought it up.
Me and Kevin used. Well, I'm just talking about the living. We used to do this podcast over Skype where we would just record.
That's
on
right,
our
folks.
own computers.
Internets and everything.
Yeah, we would just talk over Skype, record it. He would send me his recording, and I'd just splice them together, and that's how the podcast was made. But that was when I was living with an ex, and so once that kind of broke, I moved back home, and I was like, I don't want to live at home anymore, so I found a job out here and moved out here, and it kind of has that meaning with the song of, he's like, I'm thinking about Boston, I like the band, the weather's not hot, then there's Colorado, got the mountains and legalized pot, and just all these different like things of like, where could I go, because there's all different things, and I just need a new hometown, because this girl's memory is just all over this town.
Girl's memory's here, and everybody knows us and knows that we were together, and he can't get away from people like asking him about it or seeing her friends or any number of things, and so he's just like, I just got to get a new hometown, because I got to like, this place is just a fucking bummer now. And I'd love it, because I also love Eric Church's Give Me Back My Hometown. I do love that kind of deal. I do not have this situation applicable to me, because I just got a new hometown and she had to get the fuck out. So I'm good, but I certainly can understand and respect the position, and I think it's just a really well done song.
I do love the like the wussiness of it, though, where it's just like, my grandpa survived the Great Depression, he opened up a hardware store after it and all this, but this girl broke my heart, so I have to leave.
Later, peace. This is harder. Fuck you, Grandpa.
Yeah, the grandpa went through all that shit and survived it, and he's just like, yeah, but this girl hurt me, so I have to go.
I are sad.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, but granted, I don't want to also make myself seem like a wuss. It wasn't just because of her. I didn't have any friends back then.
That was it. I are sad. I must go now.
Yeah. Nah, because I have all my friends got married or were on a woman's leash, so I never saw anyone. So I was at home all the time. So I just needed to get out and get where friends were. So that's why I'm also moved, not just because of a woman.
And the cost of living is great.
Yeah, that's very true. So if you noticed, all of the songs were from his last two albums, their EP and album. Other songs I had was like "Turn Around" from his first EP and "Only All the Time" from his other CD.
Yeah, and I love the song "Slow Hand." It's a banging song.
Yeah, and then Kevin also had like "Girls I Date" and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, I mean, I certainly do enjoy. I mean, he's got great music. He really does. It's just when I'm being honest with myself as I put the list together, I'm like, I really listened to these songs. Like the 10 that I put on my list, I was like, I definitely listened to these ones more than I listened to anything else.
Yeah, so we don't want to make it seem like, oh, we forgot he had other music.
He doesn't.
It's just those two are so much better.
Yeah, us. Because like I know that you.
It just gets better and better.
Yeah, because you love. I mean, I love Blink. You Miss It too, but that was your like album of the year. I think Bad Reputation's his best album, and so like between our list being combined and those thoughts, like it just worked out that way.
Yeah, it was But so if you haven't heard Mike Ryan before, listen to him. Like I know he's one of the not to I don't want to make it sound like we're degrading him or anything, but he's one of the smaller artists we've done so far. I don't know anyone out here who knows who he is. Even some people have heard of Turnpike.
Well, that's the thing. But to be fair, I know a lot of people who have not heard of Turnpike.
Well, I know. I'm saying, but like in terms of size of people coming from like Randy Rogers Band, Wade Bowen, those kind of artists people have heard of, whereas Mike Ryan's kind of a more unknown to up here rather than down there. But yeah, so check out Mike Ryan.
I just assume everybody up here has never heard of anyone.
Yeah, I know. it's more true than not.
Yeah.
Culture Wall's great.
Oh, so good.
But anyway, so that's all I have about Mike Ryan. Is that all you got?
He's got a great beard.
Oh, he does have a great beard, yeah. He looks kind of like a bro. But he's
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, we're a little far out of college for me to care about bros anymore.
Bruh.
Anyway, albums that came out last week, so there's a lot that we want to talk about because there was a lot that came out. Peter Rowan, Carter Stanley's Ice. He's an old dude. I haven't heard any of his other stuff, but it was a very old school bluegrass type country album, and it's just phenomenal. Don't have much to add to that one. Brinley Addington, Songs from a Bar. It's an EP.
I was very conflicted because I really did dig this whole album, but it was like
sound is great.
Yeah, sonically it is straight up country. lyrically, it's got a lot of cliches.
It's
but
a lot of names. It's kind of like Mickey LaMantia.
Yeah,
who's
it's
really
a
good
lot
with
of
a
name
of
dropping and like I mean, isn't would you say was it songs from a bar?
Songs from a bar.
Yeah. So I mean, it's full of cliches, but I really have no problem with it because it's certainly country, and he does sing well, and so like I fucking digged it. I listened to a couple of the songs off of it like a bunch of times because I'm like, no, this is actually really good.
Yeah, it's a really good, especially like it's like a honky tonk drinking song EP, and it's just lyrically you're not gonna get John Moreland out of it, but it's definitely a good EP worth checking out.
Yeah.
It's 5 songs, I think.
I think so.
It's worth a check out. Next, Old Crow Medicine Show, Volunteer. Just it's Old Crow being Old Crow.
Yeah.
Amazing bluegrass music.
Bluegrass and folk.
Yeah, you're just not
jamming.
Yeah, you're gonna. Wagon Wheel's a great song.
You shut your face. It is a good song when they do it, though.
Yeah.
Hey,
next,
Darius, fuck off.
Yeah, that song's not good. It's going to be number 1 when we do him. Next is Brothers Osborne, Port St. Joe. It stuck out to me more than it did for you because, like, their first song on the album is such a jam. Like, I dug it.
Yeah, I didn't not enjoy it. Like, I certainly, basically every song I enjoyed, but it just kind of felt like, I don't know, like, it was
samey.
fine. Like, it was fine. Like, and so, like, there weren't songs that, like, so, like, Shoot Me Straight, the first song that they released off of it is the single ahead of time. Yeah. Loved it from the start. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, this song fucking rocks. Yeah. I love it. And no other song on the album did that for me. And that's kind of where I came from, where it was like, okay, you released the song that was like the jam and the one that I was going to love ahead of time. And there are a lot of good songs. And I know that people who listen to us probably dig him and they'll say, you know, this, that, and the other thing are great songs. And yeah, they are. There's good songs. Even the one that sounds like it should be super cliche, the Weed, something, and Willie, like, it's still a good song. And so, like, I don't really have a problem with it. And if you love it, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. Yeah. I just felt like they're so goddamn talented that it should have been better.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that it's also one that if the songs ever come on, we'll be like, sweet, awesome.
Oh, exactly. Like, I have no problem with it.
But it's just not one that's, like, stuck out to us where we're going to put it on repeat for.
Oh, exactly. And that's where I came out of it being like, okay, Shoot Me Straight, and then a couple others are going to be the ones that I'll rotate, and then I'll kind of forget about some of it. And it's not, I'm not trying to sound harsh because I sound super harsh right now, but because it was good. Like, I would rate it.
Saying is that
I would rate it to 7 or something out of 10. Like, it was good. It really was.
What he's saying is that he hates Brothers Osborne and he wishes Florida Georgia.
Exactly. Can I get Bebe Rexha on a track or two?
Some gooch. Anyway, next
Give me some gooch.
Part of the Pistol Annies, Ashley Monroe's Sparrow. She is like I didn't realize how like old school country she is. Like, she has that very old school sound.
Yeah, she's got a great voice.
Yeah, it's so good. So now I've heard music from all of them before, but now I have heard like entire albums from all the Pistol Annies, and they're all phenomenal, and you should listen to them.
How many are there?
There's 3.
Okay, then it is the 3 that I'm thinking of.
Yeah. But yeah, it's phenomenal. I don't have too much to add to it. She's just a very old school.
Yeah, she's got a great voice. Listen to it.
Person, yeah. Next is Charlie Crockett's "Lonesome as a Shadow."
Fucking
also a very old school sounding.
It's old school, but also very just kind of like Americana roots kind of sound. Yeah. And I loved it. I mean, I'm a big Charlie Crockett fan anyway, and so
we get to see him at Windy City Smoke Up.
Yeah, so like obviously I was probably gonna like it because he stuck to the same kind of sound. But yeah, it's just I dig his whole deal. I really do.
It's really good. Speaking of another old school sounding guy, is Joshua Hadley's Mr. Jukebox.
Oh yeah,
such a good album.
Yeah,
so
honestly,
good.
My only complaint on it is I wish it was longer. A lot of the songs are only like 2.5 to 3 minutes, so I wish we had more. And then I feel like he's such a great singer. I wish he would have just like totally belted it out a couple more times. Like he had a lot of songs where he's obviously singing great, but I'm like, dude, just put it out there and
whip it out, man.
Just fucking belt it. You know you can. But I mean, honestly, from start to finish, it's phenomenal. So listen to it.
And then I say this last one for last because it was the biggest surprise of the week and so good is Arkansas Dave's self-titled album. So good.
I fucking love this album.
So good.
I listened to it in its entirety a few times in a row, and then I've added a few of the songs to a playlist I just made, which is just kind of like a lot of a lot of like jam rock,
Ratliff type
Nathaniel Ratliff, basically, yeah, jam rock, roots rock with horns, but like a playlist of all that. And so I put a couple of the songs off this album onto it, and I've really been digging it. This dude fucking jams. Like, I love it. I really, really do.
And at first I was like, it sucks that we hadn't heard of him before, but it's his debut album, so I don't feel so bad.
Well,
so.
I remember when I clicked on it on Spotify, like, it was like 88 monthly listeners or something like that. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he only has like 300 followers on Twitter.
But seriously, I really love this album, and if you don't like it, fuck you. But seriously, there are so many songs that just jam.
It's like I respect his talent and everything. I don't listen to Nathaniel Rateliff that much. Kevin's huge on him.
He's so great.
He's good, and I don't go out of my way for him.
He's
but
great.
Arkansas Dave, I fucking love this album. Like when Nathaniel
Challenge accepted. I will turn you into a huge Nate Rate fan.
I don't mind him. It's just,
I will turn you into a huge fan.
I just don't go out of my way to listen to
I will make you go out of the way. And listen.
So, have you been listening to anything else?
No, that playlist that I made of just it's 10 hours long.
I mean, my heartfelt one is 91 hours long.
That's my longest playlist by like 7 hours.
Oh.
So
That's probably shorter than my shortest one.
All of my playlists usually hang in the like 1 to 2 hours range, maybe somewhere around there, just because I find like a specific sound that I chase, and I'm like, I want songs just like this. I made this jam playlist, and it's like 10 hours long. I'm pretty sure there's some duplicates in there, so it might not be actually that long, but basically Nathaniel Rateliff, Arkansas Dave, St. Paul and the Broken Bones. There's some Isbell on there. There's some Charlie Crockett, some Little Feat to throw it way back. And so basically all of these artists that just kind of really jam out, I've been really into that lately. And that happens to me a lot, where I listen to this kind of music really hard for like weeks.
my shortest playlist is my Country Lovin' playlist, which is just
banging songs.
Is just love songs, yeah. And it's 18 hours long.
Yeah, that is not the case for me. That's
my longest is Heartfelt, which is 91 hours.
Yeah, let's see what I got. I got a 5-hour one. Oh, that's a lot longer than I thought it would be. Wow, what a shock. And then what else would be long?
Yo, you know what else is long.
No, that one's only 3
inches.
Yeah, exactly. This one is 4. Okay, so maybe in the 3 to 4 range is where most of them are. But yeah, no, the jams being 10 hours, I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's quite some time.
That's it for this week. Got nothing else to say. You can find us at countryhodgepodge.com, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Country Hodgepodge. On Spotify, you can find the Hodge Podcast Picks, where every week I add the songs we talk about in each podcast, so you can check them out in full and listen to them. Jam out to all the awesome music. You can also find a link through the website, or if you search Donkey Factory, one word, on Spotify, you can find Kevin's Picks of the Week. Every Monday he uploads 10 different songs by 10 different artists of 10 different nationalities of 10 different universes. Where
we're breaking that fourth wall.
Deadpool.
One wall at a time.
Never.
We only have 4 walls.
Anyway, not the Oval Office. It's just one big long one. You can also check out every Friday, put Friday's new music, where I put up all the new albums. So obviously this week has this, but by the time you hear this, they'll have new albums on it that you can listen to.
Ablums.
Also, you can buy one of our dumb shirts on the site or through a link through the website. Kevin's wearing one right now. Sam Hunt Sucks tank. Rep it.
I am Team Sam Hunt Sucks.
Yep.
You can also join Team Walker Hayes Blows.
Yep. And then, actually, this one's also on it, my Goku shirt. Because it's not a Country Hodgepodge shirt, it's just on the store. But you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CHP_CliffJohn. Kevin on Twitter and Instagram at CHP_Charge. Please rate and review the podcast. It'll help us get found. And if you rate us 5 stars and roast us, we will read it on the air. And I'll feel bad because I'm fat.
And I will laugh because it's funny.
Yeah. So that's it for this week. Next week we're going to be talking about Sam Hunt. That's how much Kevin loves Sam Hunt.
Did you not read the show?
So until next week, I'm Steve Hodges, always joined by Kevin Hodge, saying goodbye, good night, and good Charlotte.
So you like my guy?